Recently, you might have noticed that the world's economy has been a little bit unstable. I don't want to get into it too much, but basically the prices of a lot of things have been going up and down quite dramatically. And if you're talking more about crypto and shares, it's been more in a downward direction. But if you own skins, you may have noticed that they have been stable pretty much the entire time, unless you own cases anyway, because they haven't stayed flat at all. They've gone up instead. And this is the result of a long-term trend that's been grinding away at the market for a very long time. And when you look at the numbers, you can see exactly why it's happening and why it's not going to stop anytime soon. And in this video, we are going to be breaking down what's going on and explaining why it's very likely to keep on happening. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you can quickly and easily trade your CSGO skins. Just log in through Steam, add your trade link, and you're good to go. Just select the skins you want to trade and you'll have a trade offer within seconds. Any excess will be added to your balance, and if the skin you want isn't tradable, it can be reserved for you until it is. There's also a built-in high-definition inspect feature, and if you're topping up, make sure to use the code Heyzeus to get an extra 5% bonus on the balance you deposit. Now, on top of this, the site also hosts daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, so even if you don't have skins, there is something here for you to check out. Great site, recommend having a look, link is in the description. So, CSGO skin economy is pretty simple to understand. This is a case. Cases drop based on how much people are playing the game, a case costs a specific amount to open, a case has odds that make some skins rarer than others, and after that it is completely left to the community to decide what things are worth for themselves. And it's no secret that over the last few years, those values have been going up. And one part of this is the cases themselves. Cases used to be worthless, like they used to be worth a fraction of a cent. Today, there isn't even a single case that's even close to being that cheap. They've been getting more and more expensive consistently over the last 3 years. Now, part of this is due to the fact that Valve actually reduced the supply of cases back in mid-2021, largely due to problems with botted accounts, but it's also being driven by a much more fundamental trend that's currently going on. And yes, the image you're looking at right now is foreshadowing. Cases drop proportionally to how much people are playing the game, so if you know how much the game is being played, you can take a guess at how many cases are being dropped. And we know what these numbers are too. Thanks to Steam charts, we know that in July there was an average of 594,000 people playing CSGO at any given hour, and this means that over the course of the month, people played 441,936,000 hours of CSGO. Now, in theory, it is possible to get up to 2 case drops a week, but the second one is quite erratic and it's possible to rack up a lot of hours before getting it. So, let's say on average, there is 1 case drop for every 10 to 20 hours people are playing CSGO. This is probably a reasonable range, and based on that, you're looking at between 44 million and 22 million cases being dropped per month. Now, we can narrow this down by looking at how much cases are being sold on the Steam market. So if we look at the Snakebite case, which is currently 20% of all cases being dropped, roughly 70,000 of them sell on the Steam market each day, which is 2.2 million sales during July. Now, if we assume that roughly 1/3 of Snakebite cases actually get sold on the Steam market, that would imply 6.6 million Snakebite cases were dropped during July, meaning 33 million cases in total were dropped during that month. I think this is a reasonable estimate we can work with, and going off this number, we immediately have a massive problem because this isn't enough. You see, it's a well-known fact that CSGO players are degenerates who like opening cases, lots of cases. Not that I know anything about that though, no way, could be me. And there are people who keep track of the number of openings, and during July, that number was 23 million. Now, 23 million is less than 33 million, but the problem is, a lot of people who get dropped cases end up leaving them in their inventory for literal years or even longer than that sometimes, and because of that, these drops stay out of circulation. My audience, for example, is extremely into skins, but whenever I stream, I constantly get people offering me cases that they've been dropped but simply haven't used, and again, these are people who are really into skins, and even they aren't always selling their cases. And if even 1/3 of the cases that get dropped are left to rot, and honestly it's probably an even higher proportion than that, we already don't have enough cases to cover what's being opened. And that's before we get to the other problem, which is that there's currently a massive investment hype going on, leading people to stockpile thousands upon thousands of cases. This is something that's really picked up steam since the introduction of the storage unit back in 2019, because it lets you hold up to 100,000 cases in one account. And increasingly, people are stocking up on whatever the hell they can get their hands on. I mean, you can literally find people with tens of thousands of cases in their inventory these days, and there's a lot of people investing on much smaller scales too, and it's easy to see why it's so attractive. A fracture case is only 15 cents now, but it is very easy just to look at that price and tell yourself that it'll increase to $1 one day. I mean, all these other cases did, and whether the fracture case ever will actually get to $1 or not, this sort of stuff has led to investors stockpiling millions upon millions of cases. We don't know the exact number, but we do know that these guys are mostly investing long term, because that's what case investments have always been, and while they're doing that, these cases are going to be removed from circulation. And given it looks like we're kind of short on cases as it is, you can imagine the effect that's gonna have. And where does this lead? I mean, the line only goes up so long as demand for skins stay high. If people lose interest, all this shit I just said becomes irrelevant. But here's the thing, it's currently August, summer in the Northern Hemisphere, and this is the part of year when people are playing the least because they're busy touching grass instead. And it's also the part of the year where skin prices are typically at their weakest. This summer though, we've seen things flatline for a bit, and now player numbers and skin prices aren't just stable, they're going up. And what do you think is going to happen this winter when everyone's trapped inside and they're playing a lot more CSGO? And also after there's been a massive hyped major in Brazil, and also probably another operation, probably some other big updates too. I mean, no one knows for certain how it's going to go, but you can take a pretty good guess at the direction things are heading. Probably not going to be down. And by the way, when the new operation does drop and the market temporarily melts down, don't panic sell, please try and survive that. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. That's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching.